Hey, yo, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I'm saying? As of this recording, it is 12:37 p.m., you know what I mean, January 18th, 2025, you know what I mean? I'm actually shaving my head, you know what I mean, as I'm recording this video. This might be the only video I drop for the day, because I really don't have anything else to talk about. Because going into the weekend, wrestling news is really dead going to the weekend. Every single fucking time. Every time. Unless something juicy come up, then I'll say something. And also, unless there's a pay-per-view coming up and such, then, I just make probably one video. And I do like discussion videos. Other than that, it's basically dead, But I wanted to make this video because of something that Bryan Alvarez from Figure 4 Online said in his video yesterday, from the Wrestling Observer, from the Wrestling Observer YouTube channel. And I actually linked the video in the description. And this is about AEW talents that WWE signed, right? And I thought it was very interesting because he used Penta as an example, right? And yes, it's true that WWE is pushing Penta to the moon, right? It's absolutely true, right? That he's being used as, the focal point of a big push, which I do believe he is going to be pushed in a huge way, right? Especially by himself. Like he's definitely going to get over. Here's what Bryan Alvarez said, right? Because he used not only Penta as an example, but he also used Dragon Lee as an example, right? So, if you hear water in the background, it's basically because I'm shaving my head. You know what I mean? So, this is what he said, okay? Bryan Alvarez said that, you notice how, he notices a trend, right? With Dragon Lee and Penta. He asked the guy, what's his name? Mike something, right? Where did Dragon Lee come from? And where did Penta come from? So he said Dragon Lee came from, I think, New Japan Pro Wrestling and I think he came from CMLL. I'm not absolutely sure, right? But he also asked, where did Penta come from? He said AEW. Reason why they brought in Dragon Lee is because you haven't really seen Dragon Lee being used in quite a while, but Penta's a bigger name. So he said, when you are someone from AEW, when you are a talent from AEW, WWE tends to push you much, 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 much harder than any other talent that they sign from another company, which I do believe is true. Which I definitely believe is true because, and yes, some people are going to argue that, they're going to argue a couple of things, right? They're going to argue about, well, what about Jacob Fatu, right? What about Tama Tonga and such, right? But the difference is they're part of a storyline, right? And yes, I'm not saying that they won't be pushed. I'm not saying that because they're both fucking great. But when it comes down to AEW, right, they push people much, much, much harder. Right? And he also used other talents. He used other talents like Ethan Page. But even with Ethan Page, he said that, you can argue that with someone like Ethan Page, that he was brought over to NXT. But, and that's what he also said, but they gave Ethan Page the NXT championship. And you can also put in other names too. Jay Cargill. Right? This is me talking. Jay Cargill. Right? You see how they push Jay Cargill? Right? They push Jay Cargill to the moon. Right? And, and yes, what about, Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr., right? Even though they have not pushed him high enough, he's at least shown on TV, right? And they got him, a lot like his father, right? So do I think that WWE push the rocket ship to AEW folks more than other talent? Yeah, I do. And there's a reason why they're doing this. There's a strong reason why they're doing this. They're doing this because not only they're trying to sign free agents from All Elite Wrestling to WWE, but also it's a business, right? It's clearly a business. They use Chris Jericho, right, as an example. Now they used Chris Jericho when he signed, from WCW to WWE way back in like '99, right? And yes, they did push him. I mean, it took a while for him to get his groove on, but nonetheless, he still got pushed, right? He was able to find his groove, right? So yes, it does seem like, WWE does push a lot more people from AEW, to the masses more than they. Of course, I can't forget Cody Rhodes. I mean, shit, Cody Rhodes is WWE champion, bar none. But again, this is a business move. Why? Because they want people from AEW to WWE. They want people, and trust me, there's going to be a lot more a lot of ex AEW talent that is actually coming down the pipeline that I'm pretty sure they will use and they will push. I mean, it's too fucking obvious. Wait until someone like, wait until MJF eventually comes to WWE. Wait until he comes. They're gonna put the rocket ship to that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Fucking Ricky Starks, Wardlow, Kenny Omega. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think that they're gonna push the rocket ship to these motherfuckers, you are sadly mistaken. Why? Because it's business. You know what I mean? It's pure fucking business. Like they again, they're trying to sign people, from AEW to WWE, so that they can, so that not only they can give them bigger pushes, but also they can make them into bigger fucking stars than than people at other companies. See, when what Triple H did when he was running Black and Gold was he basically was pushing a lot of Ring of Honor folks, to pushes. He pushed a lot of ROH guys, right? And because he knew that ROH talent were talent that could get over and could work better than any other talent that was out there, right? And so with AEW talent, right, it's almost in that same vein, but of course AEW's at a higher plateau than Ring of Honor, right? And we're talking about Ring of Honor from St. Clair. And you know what? You can also put in New Japan Pro Wrestling too. You can throw those names in there too. But again, WWE has a business that they're trying to run, and they're trying to bring in free agents and everything, and I think it's a great thing. And like I said before, Penta opened that door for a lot of AEW talent who is not only disgruntled but also have contracts coming up to jump on board. And yes, WWE is not going to sign everybody. That is absolutely true. But the ones that have name value, right, that WWE can use not only for, the main roster, but NXT, someone like a Jay Lethal, someone like a Dalton Castle, someone like fucking, you see Brian Cage, they're going to push the rocket ship, and you can fucking see it. You can see it. So this might be the only video I drop for the day, you know what I mean? Because, they say it's going to snow here in New York, but, it's a wait and see. It's cloudy. It's not cold, but it looks cloudy enough to the point where I do believe it might snow. So, but I'm definitely going to holler at y'all, either later tonight or tomorrow for sure. All right? Peace.